Hello guys and welcome to Gemcraft Labyrinth, the lost chapter apparently. This game was created by a guy in Hungary by the name of Peter, and he has made a couple of other Gemcrafts as well, a couple of older ones. Um, it's debatable as to whether or not this was the best version. I'm thinking Chapter 0 was also a very good game. I'll show you a few videos of those later on. But at the moment, I've already got some videos of an endurance run while I'm at a very high level, and a lot of people are asking me, what do I do if I'm at this level or at that level, or how do I get high scores and so forth. And to be honest, I really forget because my level is just ridiculously high, and everything is ridiculously easy when you're that high up. So I thought I'd start an I've already started another one. Um, Basically, you can get the premium edition for I think it's about $6 or $7 Australian, which personally I think is actually a bargain because this game is really fun and you can spend a lot of time playing it. So I do recommend you get the premium edition, but if you don't get the premium edition, then you'll be greeted with new game, and it'll go through telling you the storyline, blah 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 blah. This probably won't mean much to you if you haven't played the other two games first, which I do recommend you try. Even the original Gemcraft game, it was pretty good. So, anyways, it does, like most modern games, it sort of gives you a tutorial and a guide on what to do as you play. More storyline, blah 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 blah. And unlike the other Gemcrafts, instead of selecting a gem and getting a random color depending on what's available on the map, you get, for the most part, with most levels, you get two gems that you can select, and it's not random. You can actually pick them. So I'm just going to go ahead, get that, chuck it in there, maybe put a wall there so monsters have to go around, and start. At the early levels, it's the first two or three levels are very easy. Um, to be honest, the only time this game starts getting hard is if you start to play it. Actually, I'll turn this sound down a bit. One. Turn up the graphics for the early game. But yeah, basically, this game is really, really easy actually. On the first couple of levels, you just sort of do as you're told. You know, put a couple of gems in. This one's got damage 8 to 18, 8 to 20. They do randomize a little bit on the damage, range, firing speed, depending on their hue. But all in all, they're not too bad. Oh, where was I? Oh yeah, with this game you can also send waves early and so forth. If you've played tower defense maps before or other tower defense games, you'll probably be familiar with this. I think they do it on desktop tower defense. And to be honest, I don't know where they got that idea from, because in the original Gemcraft you could send waves early, and yeah. Ooh, let's get a more powerful gem. Let's combine these. Let's combine those. And basically with this game, instead of having a set amount of bad guys who can touch the end part, instead you've got this mana. And if the mana reaches below 0, then you lose. So the idea is to keep your mana up, but you use your mana to buy new gems and so forth. So it's a bit of a juggling act. Anyways, there's the first level done. Yeah, I've got, a few battle amulets. I'll explain all of these later, but basically there's a whole bunch of things you can do in the game to increase your score for each map. Let's see, how many points did I get? There we go, went up 2 levels. This game's pretty good as far as tutorials go because it does explain just about everything. I've played a couple of games where they're just confusing, but this one's pretty good. Now these are all your amulets. These are battle amulets. You can get as many of the same type as you want. You can look at them. Don't know why. Novice amulets. You can look through all of these yourself, but basically there's a whole bunch of amulets where if you get them, you get the experience points as a one-off, except for these battle amulets. These battle amulets up here, you can get them as many times as you want. But as for the rest of these, they can only be activated once. And you get, I don't know, either skill points or you get experience points or whatever. And, yeah. So anyways, to access your skill points and spend all of your skill points that you gain from leveling up and stuff, unlike the previous games where in the menu you would have something here and you would click on it and you'd modify it and stuff, you actually have to enter another map. So let's go ahead and do that. Battle settings. Let's see. 5 additional ways. Why not? It'll jack up our end of map experience a little bit. In fact, let me explain this. Basically, the reason why people keep on struggling is because once these unlock a little bit, you're tempted to keep on trying to play maps, new maps and stuff with all of the settings jacked up to as much as possible. And sometimes you lose. Some people just forget that, hey, you can, dial the settings back a bit and still beat the map and still get a bit of a score and still increase your skills. So there's something to keep in mind. And as for these, well, if you buy the premium edition, then these will unlock. I think you also get 20 free skill points when you buy the premium edition. I really do recommend it. I'll show you more videos with those unlocked later on. But for now, let's see. Early in the game, all of these unlock as you increase your wizard level. Level 12, 18, blah blah blah, all the way up to 48, and these are only available if you purchase the premium edition. Now at the start, what would I recommend? Let's see, this one increases your initial mana and the mana pool size, the maximum size at the start of battle. And this one, more mana replenish over time. Basically the mana bar will very slowly increase. I mean really slowly. It's almost pointless getting this one, at least for the moment anyways. More mana gain per kill. Again, the amounts are negligible unless you start to really jack this up. 14, 15%, that's still not much. So for the moment, I just recommend putting all of your mana in focus. You'll have a couple of skill points left because just click and drag up and down, that will modify these. Yeah, they start to cost more and more skill points as they get higher in number. So I've got 2 left, I may as well chuck them on there. And let's go. Now that 552 and 2208 is my maximum. 552 is my current mana. Oh yeah, it's just telling you more tutorial stuff. Walls, okay, so hotkey W for a wall. Hold down shift to place more than one. I'm going to do that. So the monsters have to go like that and then around there, which makes this a very powerful place to put a gem. Let's see. Let's do that. Oh, just in case you can't understand what it is that I'm doing or if things happen quickly, that's because I'm using hotkeys. Just then I held down shift and I press G on one of them, and that will automatically try and combine all of the gems of that type. Not into one, but into pairs. And yeah, there's lots of hotkeys for this game. You've got a hotkey for everything. Build an amplifier is A, T for tower. You can look at all of these actually. There's down here at the bottom of the page. I'll see if I can try and get it in the screen. There we go. T for tower. Oh, that's really close to the left edge. I hope you can see this. But yeah, these are pretty much all of the hotkeys on Arma Games. This is just the description, etc., etc. Yeah, and that's about all you need to know. If you can remember those, then you can play the game a lot more quickly. Now let's see if I can get the screen back in center. There we are, center enough. Okay, let's see if I can no, I don't think I can't upgrade this yet, but I can duplicate it. Press D to duplicate a gem, and press U to upgrade a gem. Upgrading a gem will cost, see down there near the bottom of this little plate that's moving around here, it says duplicate mana cost 231. That's all nice and well, but if you want to upgrade a gem, you have to pay for that cost, plus the cost of combining, which is an extra 77 in this case. Plus, you also have to have at least one free square anywhere inside this area here on the right. If you don't have any free squares, you cannot upgrade. It's one of those little annoying things that I found out myself. Anyways, let's go. Let's try and get as much experience as possible, actually. Starting waves early will help you gain mana and a little bit of experience, I think, as well. Another way to gain more mana and experience and so forth is to actually drop gems as a bomb onto your levels, which basically angers the monster. You know, gives more monsters, more hit points, gives them a little bit more armor, and you get a nice little score bonus for that as well. I'll explain that later. But for the most part, in the early stages, you just keep plugging away. Nothing really exciting here. One thing you can do, here are the battle amulets actually. This is available on pretty much every level. They will change a little bit depending on what level you're on and what's available in the level. But for the most part, this is pretty much what it is, and a few of these have multiple levels, like create a grade 6 gem. Once you achieve that, there's another battle amulet for creating a grade 9 gem and another one for creating grade 12 gem, for example. One of them here is to destroy all monster nests right there in the middle. This is a monster nest. Monsters can come out of the sides of the map, wherever there's joining tiles to the side, and they can also come out of monster nests. So to destroy this, I'm just going to place a tower here, upgrade this thing, chuck him there, hold down shift and click. Down the bottom you'll see target priority changes. Structures, now this will attack structures first, if there are any around. There we go. I'll get that battle amulet. There we go. Battle amulet up the left hand corner. It told me. That's all nice and sweet. Let's see. What have we got here? We've got... Ooh, we've got a giant monster. I reckon. Oh, you can pause the game at any time by pressing space. A little thing I've noticed though, if you accidentally click outside of the game window, any hotkeys and so forth you press will not, the game will not respond to it. So keep that in mind. You have to actually click somewhere in the game to activate the flash game itself before you can use hotkeys. Now, let's see, I'll just use one gem bomb. Holding down shift and pressing B, this will allow me to throw as many gem bombs as I like. 5 monsters, 1,848 each. I have a feeling I may have overreached myself here, but oh well. Let's give it a shot. See how it goes. I'll just have to move the gem around a bit. I might or might not die, guys. Ooh. Actually. I might get 3, but I have a feeling a couple are just going to go through. Anyways, that circle is the range. Once they're out, move it. This is a simple little tactic. Oh, come on. Kill it. Fewest hit points. There we go. Oh, I might. You never know. Still not enough to tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to place these puppies in here. You go there, you go there. Actually, I'll put the more powerful one here. See if we can shock this guy. Here we go. Got him. Because I summoned one extra time. There we go. It's only a tiny bit, but trust me, if you start throwing lots of gem bombs all over the bars and stuff and you send them all early, then you'll start to get some serious multipliers. Yeah, anyways, that's the more novice amulets. You can get those once, you can get these as many times as you want. What did I do? 1000 overkill damage, 2500 overkill damage. Those are because I basically put gem bombs on the monsters. Well, it was just one, but it was boss monsters, and I basically, yeah, that was a lot of extra damage actually. All monster nests done. Do not let any monsters reach your orb. Yes, there is a big multiplier for that one. One thing I do need to note is that when you do play, it's not the end of the world if monsters start going to the end orb. I'll just show you this one quickly. Here we go. Some more stuff is unlocked. I can now do that as well as that. More monsters, more waves. This is more monsters per wave. It's jacked up my score a little bit more. Look, see, 1.04, 1.18. It's definitely in my interests in the pursuit of more skill points to do that. Let's see, shove that up as much as I can. Here we go. This is your nest. Oh yeah, more tutorial stuff. This is your nest. If monsters start coming down here, don't sweat it. What happens is they will just banish a little bit of mana. If you get a lot of monsters coming out, it's going to banish your mana very quickly, and if you can't generate more mana than you're losing, then you will eventually just go and lose the level. So there's something to keep an eye on. Now, mana is really difficult to manage in this game, to be honest. So what happens is mana farming was really hard in the first game because there were no traps in that game. There was just towers, and what you would do is you would try and basically make as many towers with very low level gems as possible, so you wouldn't damage the monsters much, but you would get a lot of mana per hit and so forth. In the second game, mana farming was really easy. You just combine orange gems with red gems and put them in traps. Red gems did something different in the previous games. They basically did splash damage, or in a trap they would attack multiple monsters, and yeah, you could get a heck of a lot of mana that way. But in this game it's much harder. Especially in the lower levels, it's almost pointless trying. But if you want to gain more mana quickly, use the orange gems whenever possible, and this is basically what you do. Although attacking and destroying them is not a very good idea. You want them to run over these first and then be killed. Although I gotta admit, it's not really happening. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to jack up. It's still pretty weak. Look at that. For this fourth wave, 9 hit points, armor level 2. There's just a couple of shots and they'll be dead. Oh well. But anyways, it's my very early mana farm. Bloodbound is an interesting gem actually. I need to tell you about it. Actually no, I won't tell you about it. I'll describe all of the gems and their types and their uses and so forth in another video. For the moment I'll just quickly finish off this one, but basically this gem, you want it to make as many kills as possible, because as it makes kills, what happens is its damage goes up. Look, see, it just skipped up then from 12, 26 to 13, 27. 20% of total kills goes to damage. And it says total kills right down there. Kills 26. So 20% of that goes to my damage. Let's see. 20% of 26 is 5.2. So, yeah. Right now it's doing 5. Now it's doing 6 damage more than normal. Actually, I need to upgrade this. Oh, and if you find your Gemcraft is slowing down a lot, go into the options and just set those down. That's all you can do. It does do a little bit, but eventually when you do play this game, because it's a flash-based game, it will lag a bit. It will lag a lot, actually. When you get to the much higher levels, the game really slows down. It's terrible. 83, 45, 33. So I tell you what would be a good idea. Get all of those kills into my bloodbound. Total kill is 174. Now it's getting serious. There we go. It doesn't look as nice without the effects, but hey, whatever helps it run faster, right? Now, what have we got here? 31. We can jack that up. 39 with 5 armor. 43 with 6 armor. Yeah. Okay. Damage 50 to 81. That's the power of Bloodbound. It's actually really good in the early stages of a game and middle stages of a game, especially if you're playing against a level with, say, all armored monsters. They become really powerful gems if you keep giving them all the kills. The only problem is Bloodbound becomes really useless in a long game, late game, and so forth. But for that extra boost at the start of the game, it is so worth it. I recommend it. A lot of people avoid Bloodbound and they just go for chain hit and multiple damage, which is all fine and well. But I always go Bloodbound just a little bit anyways. You can always dull down the multiplier of the Bloodbound later on. But yeah, anyways, that's the start of Gemcraft Labyrinth. It's a very quick guide. If you follow the tutorial in the game, you won't have any problems. Look, there's lots and lots of explanations reminding you of things you can do. You can replay these fields. But essentially, this is Gemcraft Labyrinth. You go through the whole map. Let's see, A to M, 1 to 13, that's 13 by 13, is 169 levels all up. 165 normal levels, and there are 4 levels, 1 on each corner. Oh, I see. If you hold your mouse over that, I think the squares that show up red are squares where you can do these amulets down here. Challenge amulets, 20 of them. Yeah. Anyways, learned something new. So yeah, there's heaps and heaps of levels to play. Some of them you will have to play multiple times over to try and jack up your score as you get more of these settings unlocked and so forth. But yeah, have fun. I'll see you in another video.